Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. I felt like doing a late night show tonight. What a night it was last night. I'm telling you. Whoa. Wow. What an election. There's a lot of things going on around in and around the social media space. Also in the communities. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and we say welcome. So always remember, pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in, and always remember, God is in control. So ladies and gentlemen, what a night it was last night. The elections happened, and the Jamaica Labour Party was declared winners of the Jamaica general elections. However, the win, the after effect, and what's been swirling around in social media space is that you had some fumble doubles. I've been told that the internet went down and for some reason things changed. That's not a good look for Jamaica, by the way. on the global stage. So we're going to touch into it. And first of all, I want to say congratulations to the Jamaica Labour Party and also the People's National Party. They made a great comeback with 29 seats. I gotta say congratulations to all the voters of Jamaica who and you chose who's gonna lead Jamaica in the next term into the future. However, there's a taint on it, and we gotta look at it because it does not look good from where I'm standing or I'm sitting. And I want to look into some of that and move on from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's first look at the results of last night, who were the winners and losers. Let's bring that onto my screen. And I'm going to open the phone lines if anybody is up and want to have a chat. I mean, respectfully, um, you're welcome to do so. So after I'll give you a heads up when I'm going to open the lines. But here we go. I'm going to share my screen here, and then we take it from there. It is said that some of these seats, something went wrong. So we're going to check it out to see how close were some of those seats, because I think the magisterial recount is being done, and there's a lot of what you call legal courts swirling around, and there's a lot of things going on there. Um, let's see. Let's bring this on stage and let's look at the results that I'm going to dive deeper into this. So here we go. So let's look at the how these votes panned out. I got to take the music off this. So here we go. So let's St. Elizabeth North. Um, this was Andrew Morris and Patricia Scarlett Forrester. Not that was a wide margin. Let's go again. And let's look at, let's see, Manchester Southern, and that was Bunting. Bunting won there, not by a wide margin, but it was a big win. Let's go, and let's look at St. Andrew Eastern, and that was Fable Williams, and this was really, really close. This was close. Uh, so let's look at the other one. Here we go. Okay, and this was St. Andrew Southeastern. This was Julian Robinson took that, and this was a wide margin as well. hmm Let's move on to the next one. Here we go. St. Andrew Northeastern. This was taken by Delroy Chuck, which was expected. That was a huge, huge margin. Um, Stacy Knight didn't have a chance. Here we go. St. Catherine North Central. This was huge for Natalie Nita Garvey. This was another one by Angela Brown Burke. This was huge, which was expected. That's St. Andrews Southwestern, and we had St. Andrews Southern, which this was expected. This was a blowout. Um, this was Mark Golding, and this was not by a lot. Raymond Price. So let's stop here for a second. St. Catherine East Central. This Raymond Price in the seat. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. Let's go. Okay, so this was Christopher Tufton. This was like a blowout. Let's continue. This was Fitz Jackson, and this was also a big deal, a big win. Here we go. Clarendon Southwestern. Cousins took that from Chin. Clarendon Northwestern. Again, Azan took that one, not by a wide margin, but it was big enough. Dayton Campbell, he took this one at Westmoreland Eastern. It was a big margin of win. St. Andrew Western, that was Hilton against Dunkley. Here we go. That was a big win. St. Andrew North Central, and that was Civ Wright, and that was a big win as well. So, Falwell, big win. Kingston East and Port Royal. This was taken by Wheatley against Matthews. That was a huge win. St. Catherine South Central. And Clarendon Central, big win. So there's a few. Now, this was one that was close, really close. St. James Southern. And let's go. Here's another one that was really close in St. Catherine Northeastern. Really, really close here. Morrison took it. Davis Vassal and Dennis Gordon took that from Vassal. So that was a big win. Also, Damian Crawford won there convincingly against Amos. Hanover Eastern, that was also a very, very close contested seat in Hanover. Kingston Central. Now, this was one for the books. This was Steve McGregor. Hold on a second here. This was close. 4,727, and this is Kingston Central, guys, and 4,739. Very, very close. Let's continue. St. James Central went to Clark. Okay, Chang took his seat convincingly against Bernard. This is Portland Western, and that's Darrell Voss took that one with a wide margin, but he got a run for his money. And St. Mary Central, Omar Newell, without a doubt, took that one. Now, this was also a very, very close. With Isaac Buchanan taking this from Anne-Marie Vaz. and this is one of the seats that is in contention. So let's continue. Here we go. Okay, Michelle Charles and Shaw. Shaw took that. Not a very wide margin, but it was big enough. Smith took Simpson in this St. Andrew Northwestern convincingly. And also in Westmoreland, that was a blowout as well. It's 79992 to 62024. Here we go. Joyce Daly won that convincingly. That's in St. Catherine Eastern. This seat, McKenzie outdid Witter here, big time. Wow. So that's Kingston Western. And Robert Montague took Woodbine, and that was not so close. Flynn and Webley, Flynn took that one. That wasn't too close either. That's St. Andrew West Rural, St. Anne South Eastern. That was Kenneth Russell. That was a big win. Manchester North between Damien Young and Michael Phillips. Phillips took that one. Manchester Central, Donovan Mitchell. Now, this was extremely close, guys. Now, check this out. Just 100+ votes. This was Manchester Central. Let's go. And this was St. Anne Northwestern. This was not so close, but Lee took this one. Hanover Western was a big win, convincing win, over 1,000 votes there. And this is Manchester Northwestern, Michael Phillips. I think I saw that twice for some reason. And this is Manchester North. This was Audrey Marks getting a better win. Why am I seeing? I'm not sure if this is correct. I've got to recheck this. I'm thinking I'm seeing things twice. I'm not too sure if you're seeing the same thing. Maybe it's late. However, let's kind of move away from this because I think you get the drift of what's going on, because there's a lot of contention going on right now on the internet, and it's swirling around, guys. So let's move into the first one here, and let's see what happened on the internet today. I'm gonna check this out. Hold on. Let's remove that and bring the other video up, and then we're going to analyze it. All right, so here we go. Here we go. So it's right here. We're going to put that on the screen, and we're going to release the audio.
Andrew Wallace constituency. I was a little taken aback when Buchanan was in the lead. And for hours, they kept going back and forth, and nothing changed. He was like,
nothing changed, bro.
300 in the lead, right?
God.
And I kept, for hours, them can't get no update from them.
No,
it's like them
finally when they got an update. It's like them
you notice finally
them. What the hell happened there?
Exactly. You notice all of a sudden, Andrew gets 2,000 votes
Boop, just
to win. But
just
watch this
boop.
now, and this is something that I don't know if we were looking or paying attention. But I know as bad as people might want to think about Emily Cook, she said it, she coded it when she was talking, and I don't think people picked up what she was saying, right? But the fact that he got these extra 2,000 votes after hours passed, right?
Yes.
And not one of these votes the man get. Not even if he say he get 2 out of the vote, he just get every single one, every single ballot was all for him. That makes sense? I don't think I'm hallucinating or anything, but that never made any sense to me.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that this is a minority government. The fact that the People's National Party hold on to 15 more seats, bringing them to 29. And I really, truly, honestly believe that my prediction was actually 46-70. That was my prediction. Maybe it might sound unrealistic to some people, but
no, I was way more than that. I was way more.
You were way more than that?
Yeah, man.
So I was 46-17, right? Yeah. And based on what I'm seeing, I think there is about 5 seats, and I would really want Andrew Hollis' constituency. That I would want to see a recount on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just one.
I would like to say his seat in particular. And I think they need to examine the ballots carefully if that were to happen. And there is 4 others. So I will just close at this point by saying there really need to be some magisterial recounts.
Jamaica, viewers, subscribers, I want to ask you all a question. What really happened in the general election yesterday? Because up till now, I still can't understand. Up till now, I still cannot understand what really happened. Now, let us start off with the Prime Minister seat, right? The Prime Minister were behind all the election. He never did a winning seat, people. Andrew Wallace never did a winning seat. The voting count, the ballot box, it stuck at 87 for over 2 to 3 hours. What me say? The counting of the ballot stuck at 83 with the PNP, Paul Buchanan in the lead with 4,867 votes and Andrew Wallace of 4,762. That simple means for the whole time, Paul did a lead Holness. For the whole time, Paul did a lead Holness. Until all of a sudden, the voting stuck. It can't move. You can't get no more result from Andrew Holness seat. You can't get no more update from Andrew Holness seat. Then, internet go and come back. All of a sudden, Andrew Wallace get all of the other vote them where they left in the box. Paul not get not even one. How comes that happen? So you want to tell me, say, all of the box them were left for count. I just Andrew Wallace name alone in them box there. You want to tell me, say, Paul never did have even 100 in a hall of the box them will leave? Remember, no people, it stuck at 87. It never did a move. It stuck at 87. And then all of a sudden, Andrew Holness end up with 7,054 votes. And you want to tell me, say, this election was a fair one? You want to tell me, say, Andrew Holness win fair in him seat and in the whole election? People, don't be fooled, people. People, don't be fooled. Me did want to know. Andrew now go down like that. Mark Golding definitely win the election, you know, people. Me can't tell you that, you know. And you hear what Andrew Holness say? They're going after Haisat seat and a whole heap of other seat. Them a go half of them because them not feel like say them lose. what that's supposed to show you. Mark Golding accept defeat too easy. Mark Golding accept defeat too easy. PNP party too soft. Imagine Andrew Wallace claims saying winning. Him claim say the Labour right win. But yet still, them have one whole heap of seat where they want to recount and them got to carry them to court. Including Steve McGregor, Isaac Buchanan, and a whole heap of other seat people. So why the PNP so laid back and I'm ball out with these people that claim to them win, including the criminal prime minister. The prime minister, when did a losing seat, and all of a sudden, voting stock, counting stock, and prime minister winning seat. Only not find that fishy people. I can say this again. The People's National Party did not lose the election. They did not. Another thing I want to say is that Juliet Holiness, Andrew Holiness, of police have pushed out the PNP them from vote. They push them out. Lock down polling station, use police and soldier, and lock down polling station. What can
Now, my viewers and my subscribers, remember, in everything you do,
bless up to my viewers and my subscribers. Them.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's not a good look. That does not sound anywhere good at all from where I'm sitting. And this is global. So, you know, you would believe that in today's day and age and with the advance of technology, that those ballot boxes could be tracked, you know, by a homing beacon and also sealed in such a way if they're broken, then you can know in real time. Also with all these sophisticated cameras that you can see what's going on in real time. Why I don't know if these security measures were taken, because it seems to be something that's systemic with the general elections or elections in Jamaica, that there's always a complaint about ballot boxes. So isn't there, since we have so much great technology, the banks use it, the Amazon and other large companies, they track stuff in real time. You have cameras that are you have hidden cameras and all kind of security cameras that can give you a bird's eye view of what's going on in real time. So I don't know if any of these security measures were employed for the ballot boxes, but it's not a good look in terms of what's being said on the internet about the election. This it does not sit well with a lot of people, and I wanted to highlight this because there's a lot going on. So let's check another video that's also swirling around regarding this. So let me get to it. Let me get this off and then bring that video up so you can see what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a good look. So hold on a second. Let me get back to it. Here we go. I'll find that video for you. Okay, here it is. And let's get get it on stage here and get some audio to it. Here we go.
Let me start because I have something I feel lay out against you, say better. The whole of Jamaica for reject you. I'm say something this morning. I'm serious. I'm a call from a diaspora, brothers and sisters. You see, any labor right of Jamaica could have your own. Yeah. You see that you have some of them big money about for below slavery and things, not even 1 cent. From them, them could have, listen, if no one anything whether you want the surgery, you must not get nothing. Go to Andrew Holness. Go to Andrew Holness. Me just have my brethren call me before I come on here, you know. And him say, him stop at one of them places and buy something and a youth hungry in a JLP shirt. I tell him, say, I'm hungry. Him a beg something. He run him like dog, and he's a man that help people, you know. Oh, you feel hungry already? You can't hungry already, not you listen to me. Really? Make sure go to Andrew Holness, line up and go to him. But I have to go treat them with newspaper. We have to go scan them now. Go to Andrew Holness. He means that and let me tell you something. When I have to a criminal, I saw where I deal with them. Yes, Byron.
Well, one of the beauty of the whole situation, right, as it relates to the general election. But first and foremost, let us, celebrate Mark Golden victorious run.
Of course.
Because trust me, in terms of the comrade leader who had taken up, a party that, was limping and managed to unite the party and strengthen the party and now make the party become so competitive and now becomes a powerful machine. Then when the party was at 14 seats, right, obviously the People's National Party at the time was handicapped to the fact that, 14, there is nothing that 14 going up against 49, right, could stop or try to, direct any form of policy position. So they couldn't do that. They were totally handicapped. So now what happened now, right, is a new way forward that the People's National Party has now become a force to reckon with. So these are some of the things that the People's National Party, right, being the power pack, right, they are now. One of the first things that is going to happen, right, the Speaker of the House will be changed. That is the first thing. So Juliet Holness will certainly not be the Speaker of the House. And I ask them that, Now tell them that she will not. Because Mark Golden, right, and the 28 members, along with the 28 members, they are not going to allow that, right, based on her performance, right, as it relates to, she tried to manipulate the system as a result of her position. So that is out of the door. Number two, on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee, that as well is going to change. Because the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee ends, right? Of course, this time around and this leg, as it relates to this term, the Integrity Commission investigators will have now what you call a support system. A support system in the sense that they will have a strong support system in terms of if the Jamaica Labour Party, right, want to, forcefully, right, do them usual push and try to,
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, guys. Click that notification bell. Come on, share it quickly for me. And just like the video. Let's go, guys. Like this video.
Toggle the Integrity Commission investigators. So that will not happen. That is not going to happen. Now, let me say this. We know the system in terms of the DPP. We know that Paula Loveden will be out. However, that is an area where the People's National Party, right, don't really have any power there in terms of, how the DPP is selected, because the DPP will be selected as it relates to through the legal counsel system, and that will be sent to the Prime Minister, which is Andrew Holness. And of course, you know that he has influence there, right? Because obviously, he's going to either select Prince Keisha, Prince Kamika, or she's going to print, yes.
Let me just say something, because she must even think of put up nothing right there. So, and by the way, you know, with all respect, I think them always consult the opposition like back when them consult Philip, and Philip reject that DPP and them still keep her. Because I said you have to consult the opposition and they know that. We have a strong opposition now, so we are watching.
All right, Wayne, I can send you the document. I can send you the document as it relates to the process. There's no consultation. There's no consultation.
No, the process, you know, but me I say
there's no consultation with the
yes.
With Mark Gold. There's not going to be any consultation.
No, when do you remember when we can't play it back, you know? Because what them do with all respect, because through the house and them strong, you always, you know, the opposition might reject because them one knows a clean person and them not partial. Him, the Andrew Holness reject Peter Phillips the last time.
Yes. But based on the constitution, you understand that sort of consultation doesn't really need it. It can't really stop anything.
All right, so from the DPP came in, you know, them always do that with all due respect. You understand? Because anybody can go to the Prime Minister.
Well, I'm sending the document.
Yes. No, it's not the document, you know, by right.
Okay, so but that is what we are saying.
No,
that,
the
consultation.
With all due respect, is that you are the Prime Minister. So you will say something to me, and me say something, and you will show me. I may say, you know, say, don't keep her, never look a problem because I don't like how she work. And with all due respect, you will go past that. Because they recommend her. Because me know
Andrew Holness have no respect.
You understand, eh?
Andrew Holness have no respect.
Yes, yes.
So him not go seek that.
You know, continue.
Well, you know who is Andrew Holness. You understand? Mark Gold already.
He's not Prime Minister, brother.
Yeah.
I'm not a Prime Minister.
Yeah.
He's not nastiness. Yeah. Continue.
All right. So the situation is based on those issues, right? Andrew Holness definitely have a problem going forward, except for the DPP, you understand, and the corruption that might be the new DPP might definitely mix into. You understand? We are just saying as it relates to Andrew Holness' strategy, right? As it relates to dealing with the DPP. But for everything else, right, in terms of a bill to be legislated on, right, as it relates to the bill in the lower house, right, Andrew Holness have problem because Andrew Holness now would have to have dialogue, serious dialogue now with the People's National Party. They have to be now recognized as it relates to any sort of bill, right, to pass, right, and so then they can't just rush through certain things. And particularly where it is even more difficult is when you have like anything to deal with the Constitution. So the next thing that is out of the door, let me tell Andrew Holness, is the constitutional reform.
Yes.
You know, the constitutional reform that kick out of the door. That is out of the door.
Yes.
The only way it happen is through the process of dialogue. And Andrew Holness decided that, okay, all right, we will give you this, and you give with that. That's sort of dialogue. Just like with the Integrity Commission bill, when the People's National Party has 31 and the JLP has 32 in 2016. That is how the Integrity Commission Act, the Integrity Commission bill, you understand, went into law. So it is not just Andrew Holness wanted was to just shepherd this into law and people giving Andrew Holness the credit, you understand, to shepherd. No, it wasn't a situation like that. If you go back on the electoral map, you see the PNP at the time has 31 and the GLP has 32 and so then some some dialoguing has to take place, right? You agree, we agree on this, you agree on that, and so forth and so forth. And okay, all right, people sign off on this. So it the Integrity Commission Act signed off by both a giant committee as it relates to the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. So then what we are seeing right now as it relates to this current People's National Party, right, having such a strong hold, right? Now it's a situation where we now give the People's National Party all the teeth it deserves. So then Andrew Holness can just come run out and say, all right, if him go in bed in the night and decide, say, all right, I am going to do this and I'm going to use my 49 members, right, to do this. It cannot be done, right? Because particularly, you understand, he doesn't have two-third majority in the lower house. He doesn't have two-third majority in the upper house. And so then the People's National Party going forward is very strong. But let me say something now. Between now and the next 5 years, as a result of the strength of the People's National Party moving, the People's National Party will be more funded, right, than before. You know, this People's National, and this is one of the reasons why we have to have all of the respect and the powerful respect, right, for Mark Golding. Because really and truly, in terms of what Mark Golding did, the People's National Party did not have the capital injection like the Jamaica Labour Party. Jamaica Labour Party has a ton load of money. But when you look and you see that in spite of the ton load of money that the Jamaica Labour Party has, right, the People's National Party managed, right, to, so competitive, right, and where people, it's signal, where people need change. But I want to speak about something else again, Wayne.
Yeah.
As it relates to what we call voters' apathy.
Yes, yes.
Now, from the last general election, Wayne, right, we see that voters' apathy was, I think, 37%, if my memory serves me right. If anyone have a better number and can recollect me, well, that's
from the last election, yes, around that.
About 37%.
Yes.
Now, watch this, Wayne. This general election, the voters' apathy just going about 38%. Yeah. So then my question.
Last time, I'm around 39, around that, yes.
About that. All right, just give them, 39. Let us, I think that 38 point something, but just give them 39. Here's the question now where I am concerned. Here's my question. You are going to tell me that between the period 2025 years and we only were able to influence just 1.8%. This is saying something to me that it challenges our democracy.
Yes.
Because if you check it between the period 2020 and 2025, 2020 where the voters' apathy 37, and then based on what we have now coming out of the EOJ, the voters' apathy is now 38 point something percent. So I am saying something is wrong, fundamentally wrong, right, with the democracy. Are the people of Jamaica, do they realize the fundamental in terms of voting for a nation? Why we can't be impactful in terms of getting into that? Because look how much people have not voted. Where is the difficulty in terms of convincing these people?
But Byron.
Yes.
Yeah, when you just ask a question, but if you look on the guy named Gladsport Brown here,
Yes.
Yesterday, because I was pushing this and then we are watching. Them know when you have a high voter turnout,
Yes.
always him suppressed the voter turnout yesterday. One mistake the PMP people them make when them wear them clothes. If you look up in Juliet, number 13 place. The line them long and them exact people. Nothing going on by the thousands. Because they have vote. Once somebody tell me say them vote from them from 7, them vote 1 o'clock. How much was that?
All right.
Some place some open. What hours that, my brother? Some people vote 3 and 4 hours, but if it take you 15 minutes.
Yes.
The most 20 minutes. So
yes.
this I just stand brown because they want to leave the election and turn with a lot of people in a sun act. Him is a piece of shit.
Yes.
That them look out for 55% for true, you know. But
exactly.
People call me, I play some things. It's unbelievable. And when Andrew go down to a shop and I run 3 places, you know, for more than 2 hours, and you know get it back.
So what I know
with them at Elvis. When I work.
All right.
So people then go in and then turn them back, say you don't have this. So them do everything for frustrate. I remember them now about for Andrew Wallace, you know. He turn them back. The guy when they're grown. So that's why we get to this yacht. So we see everything too. So it was a plan by Ron.
All right. But so fam, but glad how you anticipate me, you know, because it seems like you know where I am going.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. So please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please click that like button, subscribe, comment, share this video. Here we go.
Good.
Right? And so love the anticipation that how you anticipate me, which you're perfectly right. So then let us ask the question again. What is fundamentally wrong with our democracy? So then when you look at what transpired as it relates to what you have said and which we know is true, many persons were turned off. Many persons did not get to vote. Not only that, the process of Andrew Onless, you understand, administration buying vote where we have evidence of that.
That's right.
Not only that again, the process of you have where 7 persons, I think Springs and I we talk about it this morning. We are 7 persons in that particular PD, right? Calling sick from the People's National Party now. So they were paid. They were paid when to absent. So then goes back now to voters' apathy. It is the corruption of Andrew Holness.
Yes.
You understand? Because you know, if you go back and look at voters' apathy as it relates to before Andrew Holness venture into the system, that's why I touch it. Venture into the system, you see that we have an higher number. You understand? But from the moment coming down from Andrew Holness, comes straight down until 2025, September the 3rd, voters' apathy under the suppression and the corruption of Andrew Holness, you understand, is reading out 38. Simple means as a result of the level of corruption. You know where I'm going next, but then the corruption index. We now have to watch that the corruption index is going to dip. Because guess what? What is coming out now, you understand? I mean, BBC, another journalist, another them people that knows that Andrew want to stiff the election.
Them pick it up.
That is what is the result of the voters' apathy.
Yes.
So I'm glad how you inject in the space there because you know definitely where I'm going.
I want to show you something, Byron. I'm going to show you bushrat. Can I have it in a bushrat?
Yeah.
It's the list all them vote. I'm going to show you say Andrew losing seat. So can I have it?
Of course, he losing seat.
I have it right here.
Losing seat.
I'm going to show it, man. Go on,
all right.
All right.
Let me just do the maths.
Yes.
And this is how it is very serious. You understand? And those are the contributions to voters' apathy. You understand? And them know Big Mama and the whole of them who they try to hide it and they ask, what are the voters' apathy and where?
Welcome back to the Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, ladies and gentlemen. When the gentleman talks about apathy, apathy means losing interest. So let's continue to listen, but please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. Here we go.
I'm going.
Glasgow. All right. Wayne.
A piece of shit.
Under the cloud of corruption, this man being corrupted, right, is issuing out award to Glasgow Brown. That is the art of corruption.
Before the election.
Right? So we don't want no station, no mainstream media. They talk about voters' apathy. And I talk about, okay, all right, the people this and blah, blah, blah. It is the corruption of Andrew Holness causing voters' apathy.
See it by your screen, the Bible.
The people have turned down, the people have suppressed. See that? Congratulations, our director of elections, Glasgow Brown, has been appointed to the order of this. This is corruption.
And him doing
this is corruption. So when we have a station, mainstream media, running out, speaking on voters' apathy, they don't want to speak the truth about voters' apathy. What caused voters' apathy in Jamaica is Andrew Holness corruption, the deep corruption from Andrew Holness. Right? The deep corruption from Andrew Holness. And I yield back to make a next Titan take up the button.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Wayne Lonesome. Good evening, Uncle Byron. Good evening, Ricky. Good evening, Melton Pot. First of all, I think my theory is this, right? My two theories are this. The reason we keep having a low voter turnout is because our nation, or most of our people in Jamaica, are not educated on their civic rights and their human rights. That is my theory. And until we focus on these issues, it makes no sense we're out here talking about the plans and the policies and the corruption and the bad roads and the bad health and the fact that our population has been forced to remain ignorant and uneducated, right? Because when you look at countries like Germany, Germany has the most educated voters in the world right now. And when you compare to Jamaica, we are very low in numbers when it comes out to vote election after election. We can't reach anywhere over 40% yet. And it's a disgrace to think we have a democratic country in which that 50% of the people come out to vote. What's the purpose of having a voters list if 50% of the people refuse to vote? It makes no sense. So what is the disconnection between politicians and the voters is a bit simple because most of the voters here in Jamaica do not know their human rights and their civic rights. And until we start to educate our nation on why they have to vote, the history of voting, and the reasons they have to vote, then we are out here because nationality can beating our gum. Now, when we look at yesterday's voting, my experience, I went there 6:30 to my polling station. I spoke to the outdoor agent. The outdoor agent confirmed the information that my name was on the voters list because I confirmed that information from the EOJ website before going. Now, when I went inside, first of all, when I was in the line outside, the EOJ officer supervisor on the ground allowed about 3 or 4 labor rights to go in ahead of the line. Anyway, went in and when I went back inside, went in near my PD, I met a young man and he asked me for my name. And I told him what PD I was looking for, which PD I was looking for. The young man looked at some papers and told me my name is not there. I have to try another PD. The PD was divided in both A and B. He said to try the B. When I went to the B PD, the lady told me inside, oh, it's from J to Z, right? My last name is Green. Why is it going to B? So I went back to A, right? And then he was trying to convince me that my name was not on the list. I used my common sense, stood at the door and asked the people inside, is my name on the list? I gave them my name, and the poll clerk was the one who said, yes, your name is here. I said, okay. Then I went in. The presiding officer was very nervous. He was shaking. His voice was nervous while he was giving me the instructions. And while he was giving me the instructions, he was there, if and butting and stopping all the time. Anyway, I did my vote. When I came back out with my paper folded, right, my ballot folded, as instructed, he claimed that he could not remove the counterfoil by carrying along the perforated line. Then he kind of slightly opened the paper, peeped inside the paper, and then he used a ruler to remove the counterfoil. After he did that, he folded back the paper properly and inspected my finger with the light and then told me to dip. After all of that, he stood there looking at me with the paper in his hand, my ballot in his hand. So I said to him, I'm waiting for you to put it in the box before I leave. And that is when the TNP indoor agent said, yes, she's correct. She needs to see the vote go inside the box. And that was when he put it inside the box. No, yesterday after I finished voting, I went on my WhatsApp messages trying to see other people's experiences. And a lot of sad stories have been coming in. People with similar experiences. And even since evening, somebody called me and said that their relative had a similar experience, left from overseas, came here to Jamaica, got nominated. They confirmed the name on the EOJ website. When they went to the PD, there was somebody there before they entered the PD telling you that your name is not on the list. And it happens more than one person here because I've been getting that complaint. And Uncle Byron, it was eight of them indoor agents from Meadowbrook area that did not work because they claimed they were sick. To me, I was told they were paid 150,000 Jamaican dollars not to turn up to work yesterday. You understand what we're going through here? So you have these little things happening and the delays, the long lines, and I heard that the electrical one is not working and they had to go back to manual. But I also got a report from Meadowbrook area where one of the ladies who came down from overseas to vote in Jamaica, she ended up having to take over the role of an indoor agent yesterday. And while she was there, she noticed that voters without IDs were coming in without um, any IDs. And what the EOJ supervisor was doing was giving them the answers to the questions that they were being asked. And she said she clearly heard one said, I am a draft, tell them that you're a draftsman. If you are that profession, you're supposed to know your profession. You don't need anybody to coach you on how to answer the questions that are supposed to verify you as a person. Does that make any sense? No, it does not make any sense. And time again, I've gotten complaints from people saying the EOJ and obviously the presiding officers, the EOJ agents on the ground or supervisors, and the presiding officers are mostly behave like they're laborers. Because when she objected to these to their behavior yesterday, they were willing to call the police on her to have her removed. You understand? So these are the things that happened yesterday on the ground. So they want desperate to know. We did everything we could. We fought a good fight. We got to 20 over 20 seats. A lot of new people are in the parliament, and all our 63 candidates are bright, brilliant people. So I have to congratulate my 29 new PNP candidates who would be representing me, my interest, because I am tired of looking on Cornwall Regional Hospital. I am in St. James, I can see the building. I am tired of looking on an unfinished building. Thank God, nothing for me has happened to my health for the past 9 years that required me to use a hospital. But I know of several persons who have had several distressing stories to tell about the hospital. I have a foreman who had his brother who had a stroke. And while the man had a stroke, the foreman that my employee has to leave the site early in the evening, go to the hospital to bathe his own brother. Not even that service is being offered anymore. Sometimes you would pay the candy stripe ladies to do it. And that's the situation that people vote back in. When I think of St. James only getting one seat, St. James, people, I am totally disappointed in you. Completely disappointed because you see the hospital on the hill. That alone, right now, as I predicted, on nomination day morning, I got water, full force in my water pipe. And yesterday was voters day for us to vote, right? And this morning there is no water in my pipe. They turn on the pipe from nomination day to election day. Can you just imagine living in a country where you have over 120 rivers and you don't have water in your pipe because they want you to buy water from their water truck? Leroy Clark lives in Central St. James, and the people who voted him back into power do not have any water in their pipes. Norwood, same thing. Northwest St. James, same thing. West Central, the same problem. And it's always the people who live on the hills that don't have water in their pipes. The people on the flat of Montego Bay have water. The on the hill are suffering. And I refuse to buy water from a water truck that is owned by a politician or his family or his friends. I want water in my pipe. And the owners came to Norwood July 11th and said they're going to give us a $6.4 billion on a water distribution system in Norwood. And he said out of his own mouth that the pipes were laid 2 decades ago. If the pipes are laid, why is there no water in them?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nara Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please, ladies and gentlemen, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for me. Share the video. Here we go.
And this is what they keep doing over and over to us, again and again. And I keep wondering who voted these people in. Because I'm sure they don't have any water at their house. Even that. And even yesterday when I was going up to my polling station, there are two areas along the road that two vehicles cannot drive comfortably. Why? One part of the road is broken away to a single lane, and and the road wanted to be bush. Malaho is returned to power, and not even the road to the polling station was debushed. Not even the road to the polling station was fixed. And I still ask myself, why would you stand in a line in the sun to vote back this woman who has never worked one day in the constituency? She was rejected by her own delegates. 225 of them voted, and only 25 voted for her to return. It's time we get this woman out of parliament, and I'm sure that going forward, we will have many by-elections because apart from the 10, 11, 12, or 13 of them over there that are guilty of illicit enrichment, I am sure this term will not even last 5 years for Andrew. I am sure of that because his case is before the court And we will continue pressuring him and Daryl Vance and the others over there who are stealing our money. And I yield the floor.
Yes, yes. All right, so melting pot, I can tell you something, right? I have some things to go through out, you know. But I have to make the man open the floor first, because I got knock you, you know. I remember for your worst nightmare. Let me just tell you. I don't done this so. But always I beg and I look out for something who come about them and build this will liberate. They must not get a cent from the diaspora. Go to Andrew on this. Andrew, you can't keep an election and we not talk about it. Yes, melting pot.
Good evening to everyone. Good evening to the panelists. You know, yesterday
Good evening, melting pot.
it was a day that corruption, you know, marred the entire election process. And so it was a day that was filled with chaos right across Jamaica. And we have to just look at some words that were spoken prior to the election, you know, like surrender in Jamaica, like not calling election until I'm sure I can win the election. So these are some very, you know, fundamental words that we must, you know, make note of and dissect them carefully. But Andrew was re-elected by corruption. And the corruption started from in the EOJ office. Because when you have Gospel Brown under the criminal prime minister nose, when you have a ghost ombudsman office under the criminal prime minister nose, then right there and then, that's where the corruption start to plan and execute. We know that them spend a lot of money buying vote, because in the case of what things you just, you know, outline, several people who are supposed to be working in polling office were called, they're calling sick. And, you know, based on what the information surrounding that, you know, is that they were being paid not to turn up. And that just show a high level of distrust even from these people. Because these people sign up for the job, you know. And it's a job that is very critical to the process of democracy. Workers who are signed up to work cannot be bribed and should not be bribed. But because corruption is so rampant, and Jamaican people, you know, they can't bear for some money and ignore it, you know. Because even the 150,000 where them get, I don't know portion of the money, just a big number in a Jamaican terms. But in terms of purchasing power and value, it's not really value enough. But they rather collect that money because they are underprivileged people. Where money is constant.
Inflation and go make them shit it out.
Definitely. You understand? And then now them sell out the People's National Party and the supporters. You understand? So we have to look on corruption side of things. Because we know that marred the election yesterday for the People's National Party. And to them plan it carefully, you know. How them are going to strategize them plan. Because when you look, the manual sector and the election process was tampered with. The electronic side of things was tampered with. The supervision side of things were unpicked. So it's just corruption. Them choose the labor right policeman, them put at the polling station. Them have the power there. So them just arrange them workforce from the GSDF side of things. Them control the whole procedure on the ground. Because up at Kentire, we see Juliet Wellness in and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah. And even when the People's National Party supporters were, you know, pointing out, you know, what was going on, the policeman, them never move her. Them just protect her. We hear of Andrew Wallace closing down, you know, polling station in his constituency. We see Dr. Crab on video pay people money blatantly caught on camera. Yeah. So we know there is a lot of issue on the ground yesterday. As it relates to the electronic side of things, the Chinese them control that aspect for the Jamaica Labour Party. And them in our country to do these things, you know. People need to know all these things. Can't forget about them people there. They manipulate that. So Mark Walden did not lose the general election on a level playing field. Yeah. It was marred by corruption. Because when you look at 2020, 21% voter turnout for the Jamaica Labour Party. The overall turnout was 37%. The People's National Party got 16%. Andrew Wallace with 21% accumulated 49 seats. The People's National Party with 16% got 14 seats. But look at 2025, 39% of voter turnout, right? And from that 39%, which was an increase of 2% on the day. The Jamaica Labour Party lost 15 seats. The People's National Party gained 15 seats. So when you look at the projected number that we are seeing here and using the percentage, right? It shows you say it was a rigged general election. Because if Andrew can lose 15 seats, yeah, with only a 2% increase of populous vote for the overall population, it shows you say under no circumstance him should be the winner of the general election.
Exactly.
The biggest mover and gainer is the People's National Party. Exactly. And they had to do the corruption side of things to prevent them from winning the general election. Right? Because under no circumstance a 2% increase, yeah, should be the number where we are seeing. Because remember, I know 2020, the People's National Party literally not doing no campaigning. 2025, it was a vibrant campaign. I was seeing the numbers. Yeah. So if Andrew Owens retain all of him, 21% vote will get in a 2020.
19 point something. Him drop. In the 19 point something when you check it out now.
Yeah, him drop. Drop.
Because you're more.
Yeah. I'm just saying, between 21%,
drop now.
Give him 15. Yeah, when up from 2020.
It dropped.
There's no way him should have dropped to 19%.
19.5. Yeah, run after him. But him dropped.
Yes.
Him dropped to 21.
Yeah, man.
But him still win. When there's an increase of 2%.
Exactly.
It don't make sense. Using the numbers. It don't make any sense. Right? In the case of Andrew Wallace seat, that was a blatant, everybody could see that. Because 108 seat, you know.
Yeah.
What about 108 seat, right? And when you look at what come out of the last 4 boxes that were counted, it was over 1,000. But when you draw the line from the counting start, Buchanan have Andrew Wallace behind for most of that period of time. And going into the last 4 boxes, Mr. Buchanan was leading by 105. Now, if you can get over 1,000 out of the last 4 boxes, then using the projected figure, yeah, you'd have 2,600, 26,000 voters.
Let me say something to that though, because
what I learned, so I can just finish it up, yeah? But when you tally the 2 opponent number, it's not even 16,000.
No.
So there's no way you can get over 1,000 out of the last 4 boxes. No way.
Let me just say something about the box. So most of them boxes are like 30, some are 40, like 50 or something. If you come here, watch the box, then when them come and hold them, they call it, right? Oh, the hell, Andrew I'm gonna get a box. 18 box left. And if there is no way you're gonna put the 18, even if you have 100 in the box. You know, if you have 20, and if you have 20 with 100 in it, you get 2,000, you get 2,200. So me I say it's wrong, them stuff, these boxes. You have 18 left. And there is no way Paul Buchanan only get nothing out of it, maybe just 80 yard. Me I gonna show you the sheet when I come. Me I have the sheet for show you still. Me I show you
when my the number all along to the counting, him a match and the number, but the last 4 box, him not get nothing out of it.
Nothing.
But in the studio, you hear an analyst in the studio tell the next man say, Andrew's gonna win that, and he's gonna win that comfortable. Him no. It's your life. Those last 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Me so sure. Yes, let's show something. Yes.
Andrew no win the election fair and square.
No.
Like I just finish out the segment where I have to say no. You say Andrew, him do, and him succeed. Yeah? Because the people in a Jamaica, them licky, and them no want nothing going forward for them future. Well, we know people in a high power, like, you know, IMF and them place, them impose a thing called austerity measure. You see the diaspora now, we apply the austerity measure. You see this 3.5 billion to 4 billion where Andrew them get a year time, where benefit the country, that to cut to about 30% of that. And why I say 30%, you might have some people who have them kids that go school and them granny and them people here. We see all them big great tone man, we are breed them and ask people for money for help them back to school. Make sure no next year, September, Andrew come around and go no back to school. Voucher like when do this trip here. Kind of call election in a school term to use that mechanism of back to school to catch them. So going forward, make sure no Andrew can provide that for UNO. Because diaspora need to set an example now where the money we are going to Jamaica is supposed to dwindle down to about 30%. Andrew need to go to work now to feed them hungry belly labor right here. We have, you understand? So we have to start applying our own austerity measure. The next thing we want Andrew to do, because that was his last promise to the people, make sure you double the minimum wages, you know. Don't fall back on that, you know. Because them hungry belly people who vote for you, them are going to need it. So make sure you double the minimum wages. And I will see how successful you will be in that venture. Because I know you don't pay minimum wages. And the people who employ people will pay them the minimum wages, them are going to get rid of them people there. So the unemployment rate is bound to rise for you. But make sure you can pass that in law, the 100% increase to minimum wages worker. Because enough is enough now with the diaspora and this bag of money we are coming to Jamaica. It makes you sit down comfortable and do your own business affair and run the country, because you sure know you can't rely upon nearly 4 million in foreign exchange we are coming to the country. So at your time now to mobilize that by going to work. Me know nobody now entertain you. Nobody now entertain you from outside of Jamaica. Because the entire world watch you steal that election. You can imagine in a UK where there's so much millions of people when you go to vote, you don't have no glitch. The voting process smooth, the place very crowded. But with a little small majority of people we have vote out of the 2.8 million. We have chaos right across the island. Something fundamentally wrong. And a guy get all a award before election even run. Him up for a award. Oh, you can be the prime minister going into an election and award a man to give him honors by Heroes Day. That fishing, that sting, that a corruption full force ahead. You understand? So, you know, and you feel like people don't know what to do. Yeah? Because the numbers show. The numbers show you lose 2% after your 21. but you still win. I will know more people participate in this election than 2020. But the good thing about it, Mark Wallen have a louder voice now and a stronger voice in a parliament. You can't bully them again. Yeah? And the money we want to use around the country, the PMP eating at that. The PMP eating at the budget. Because 29 member of parliament have to get the money out of the pool. Not like 14 and 49 who would have achieved the money. So we have the PMP, you know, and a Mark Wallen did brilliantly. And I can tell my comrades, don't be disheartened by the outcome. We all felt it and we hurt over it. But we moved from a position of weakness to a position of strength. And that must be seen as something good. And we must celebrate that. And what we need to do now is get to work. Yeah, like how you see we the Titans come back to work. Because the process just begin. We have to work harder. We have to be more vigilant going forward in any election, whether local or general. We have to now command most of the decision when it comes to the election process. This guy, Glasspool Brown, he need to leave the electoral office of Jamaica. We can't have this piece of shit there. He have to leave. The whole electoral office need to shake up. You understand? I mean, know the PMP have a voice now that they have to listen to when it comes to who them selecting at that place. Because all of who them put in there now, a green army them. 90% of them are green army. And as I said, the whole place was manned by green army police. Yeah? And most of who them having at the polling station them were a green army them. So they manipulate the election and steal the election. But the good thing about it, we move from a position of weakness to a solid base of
strength. Love that message.
Yes. Pastor Mickey. Oh, before you say something, Pastor Mickey, let me show the people them this. You know, say, I know them have them glitch there. Yeah, people that take 4 hours to vote. You know, say, 5 o'clock on the dot, you know the line not allowed to vote. Me tell you, so them suppress. Hey, listen me. I want suppression. Yeah? Let me show you something. Cafe must investigate this, Pastor Ricky and panel. Yeah? Look on this. Look on your screen. Look here. Anybody in the line, remember them that allow you for vote? Them cut you off. So you must have low. So them do everything. Because when it low by run, then so you take 5 hours or 4 hours to vote on the line long. And if you're in the line, them don't allow you for vote. When you get trouble and it locked down, them still don't allow you, them don't give you back the time. Them cut it off completely 5 o'clock. That's the them plan. And then me say, Pastor Rick, we used to show you. Me say,
I'm campaign right after.
Yes. Me say them. Me say Digicel and them go down same time too. This bad people. This is well orchestrated by them. Yes, Pastor Ricky.
Yeah, remember, you know, Desmond criminal Mackenzie and the criminal prime minister said them can't surrender Jamaica by any means necessary. Them have to win because them know that prison was their destination. And so they orchestrated a plan for steal the election yesterday. And so one of the things that Comrade Leader Mark Golden must do right now is to start investigate yesterday and get an investigation team together because I saw a report that CARICOM international observers applaud yesterday and said that was a great day for voting in Jamaica. But at the same time, CAFE is saying at the opposite, that there were people in the line that did not get to vote after 5 p.m. So there's a CARICOM observers is either them never upon the ground, and I think them only send 10 observers. We need way more more observers than that. And furthermore, remember in the local government election, criminal Vaz says at 9 p.m. him call Big Mama station. 9 p.m. in answer, there are people voting right now because they were in the line before 5 p.m. and they did not get to vote. You have that video there, Father alone. So remember, you know. So if the law says if you're in the line and the poll closed at 5 and you're in the line, you are obligated to cast your vote because every vote should count. Yeah. And you're implementing your civic duty. From 2023, where I speak out, you know, and I said the EOJ needs to come out of the office of the Prime Minister. Yeah. Before the local government election, where I sound the alarm, and one of the reasons why is all presiding officers is selected by glass poll. The presiding officers, they're all labor rights. The poll managers, they're all labor rights. Me hear reports yesterday of them I tell people to put them X on the opposite side of the symbol. These are voter suppression and voter fraud. Me get reports yesterday, so them I tell people say the ID expire and you need a new ID for vote. So they have people inside now where I hold up the process and I cause the people them to get frustrated outside, which is a type of voter suppression to make people go back home. And I tell the people them yesterday morning, and I say, listen, when you stay on the line, don't leave. If you know wait 9.5 years, forget rid of this government. If it take you the 10 hours or the 8 hours of the station open for, you must can endure in the hot sun. If you're going to the bleachers or stadium, go sit down, go watch a ball game or tracks. You must can't wait just to get out. This is a one-time in a lifetime opportunity right now. And some people leave because them get. I talk to somebody to the on the ground in a Portland, and them say, I 3 hours I take them for vote, but they've determined them wasn't coming out of the line for go back home. And so these voter suppression tactics, them plan it, they strategize it for steal the election because the ground was swollen with the comrades. Blood and fire, ready, fired up, can't wait for a vote out this criminal out of government. And so the suppression tactics for them use was to frustrate the people them. And then the next thing is the People's National Party lose the election from 3 to 5 p.m. yesterday. As I tell people yesterday morning, I said, listen, I mean, what been said as the week lead up to the election after nomination day. We say, listen, when I got to the polls early, as soon as the polls open at 7 a.m., bum rush the polls, cast in the votes, and then they can go be runners and bring back people to the polls. But you know what now? You see, after them get the numbers them after 1 p.m., that's why I wear this jacket called 1 p.m. because that was the strategy. After them get the EOJ numbers from the morning vote and the percentage and so forth. So them start run money from 3 to 5 for bringing people where them claim say them are gonna use to help win them the election. And when you hear all the baby mother from Manchester go up on Big Mama yesterday and I said, care a black car from our people them from go vote. And I appear lie them I tell because of money them I go to the polling station and in a constituency them go run. So from 3 to 5 every time, it's always a critical area. And that's why we as a party now, we have to be vigilant. We have to be sober because what them do yesterday is called voter fraud. Voter fraud. What them do yesterday is thief the election. Square and right there, them just thief the election. Finally, yesterday, the Jamaican Barabbas, the labor right them will take millions of dollars for go cast them vote. And the comrades them who get money for stay home allow the Jamaican Barabbas. You know, in the Bible, when Pilate said, which one of the two shall I give back unto you? Should I give you Jesus, an innocent man who come for help on him? Or should I give you this notorious criminal and robber and a thief named Barabbas? And the people them say, no, we don't want the innocent man who come for help. We want Barabbas the thief. So yesterday we see the Jamaican. The people them choose Barabbas. Them choose corruption. Along with the voter fraud scheme. And so, as everybody has said this morning and throughout the day, leave Jamaican people them alone. Make the criminal prime minister take care of them. So because them sell out them vote, them sell out them future for themselves, them pitney and them grand pitney. And elections have consequences. The choices we make in life is either rewarding or it has consequences if we make the wrong decision. And so for the next 5 years, them have to live with a deceptive prime minister and government, a pathological prime minister and government. Them have to live with them communication team or run around with Big Mama them at the front line, spread misinformation and disinformation. And so, you know, we did get sick and tired of it, but no, it get we now energized now for say we have 5 more years here for beat and teach. I will not come off of the wall like me and Maya. We're gonna stay up on the wall and be observant and hold them accountable. Because this Jamaican Barabbas, the last point, comrade leader Mark Golden, big up yourself, because when you bring the party from in 2020 to today, it's a great accomplishment. When you run election to win. Common leader Mark Golden win 15 seats. That's a great accomplishment according to the vote, the percentage of the voter turnout that them said was there yesterday. And so we are now 3 seats away from forming the next government, which is more easier from this position that we are today than when we were 14 seats the day before. So any little anky-panky them keep up, comrade leader, on have to be aggressive, man. I keep saying, when I can't play softball with them criminal there. Them criminal there, them not have no conscience. When I have to sound the alarm at every little thing what them do wrong, like how we do it on the social media platform them. When I have to slam them and hold them accountable and be very aggressive. You have to play hardball with them, man, and make the, because Fisher let us know. I come out to the Father Lord, someone has a boy right now. Mark Golden lose because him tell Pierre Life on the Prime Minister. Really? Go read the Auditor General. Read the Auditor General report was said $3 trillion stolen from the Treasury. And out of that, $12.2 billion from the Prime Minister's office. Go read the Kirk Beresford sworn affidavit about the Prime Minister and involving a all-in Cash Plus, SSL, and the fake shell taxi company them when say up. Read the Integrity Commission report tabled in Congress, Parliament last year, September, and the Prime Minister and all of the bank accounts when about the money laundering. So nobody now tell a lie on the Prime. One point, when the Parliament resume, if it's next week, there is the annual report from the Integrity Commission that every June 30th, them office submit their annual report. Them shut down the Parliament quick. Them shut down the Parliament quick because them never want table that report before the election. No, Comrade Leader Mark Golden, you have to hold them accountable in Parliament because according to the Integrity Commission Act, the law says on the next seating of Parliament, the report have to be tabled. Right, Father Lord, son? So that report where them are sit down upon, where them withhold from tabling, because them shut down the Parliament prematurely. They have to table it the first Tuesday when Parliament open. And Comrade Leader Mark Golden ensure that them table this report, because in this report, we might have 3 or 5 or 6 of the 10 illicit members that are under investigation, and them withhold this before the election in a them corrupt mind, them feel so them not want the people them know. So, Comrade Leader, hold them accountable. Back over to you, Father.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click that notification bell, click that like, share for me, please. This is absolutely interesting because there has been a number of comments on the web about this election, and it's not looking good. So let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. Here we go.
All right. So we could just go down and some of them thing now, people. Agintai, you lose your seat. We could just draw for this Agintai. Say money I pay for your thing Agintai. I move this. Because we have the thing them where I show them up in Agintai. You know that you would tell? Go pay the money Agintai in the Mark night. Michael night, Mark night. You know what? See me, so you hear me Agintai? No, you hear him that? Yes. I hear him. You know win your seat neither. So I could play this with Agintai. I could play this right there. So hear this now. Hear this. Hear this.
Wow, you have a right to TV Max and Bosco Bell.
Don't know the principle.
So people stop this because it's not supposed to go away. But hear the one now. Hear this.
People, the man go when we box them. We gone for Woodpark Road. Them gone when we box them. Them gone when we box them.
People, a police that you know. She said a police man play her. You saw when she drive them down and them got change out the box. That's why I say Agintai no win, you know.
No.
Them there stuff box. Them there where them man got change up and stuff up. And this is what them do. I don't buy and go to sit down.
And the baby,
come in. The man go when we box them, people. The man go when we box them. We gone for Woodpark Road. Them gone when we box them. Them gone when we box them. We are running down. We need backup. We need backup. Hello.
You hear this?
Yeah.
Them guy with the box. Them here I know people remember play here so. Them first that long time. Hear this.
The baby mother now we need her now.
Me did a fella the ballot box them. The police girl them and the police boy them here we going to Woodpark Bush because that's where the fucking box them. That's why I made it upset. You see if Bobby didn't win and win fair, I wouldn't cuss. I don't get upset about politics. But all this time I hear about TV in politics. I force me a seat on a blood clot tonight. Bobby don't win Western St. Mary. But I want thing me glad say. You know who am I glad say? Who's the one marriage now? Win Central St. Mary. On a set.
I see that in here.
Me did a fella the ballot box them. The police girl them and the police boy them here we going to Woodpark Bush because that's where the fucking box them. That's why I made it upset. You see if Bobby didn't win and win fair, I wouldn't cuss. I don't get upset about politics. But all this time I hear about TV in politics. I force me a seat on a blood clot tonight. Bobby don't win Western St. Mary. But I want thing me glad say. You know who am I glad say? Who's the one marriage now? Win Central St. Mary. On a fuck out no about champ. Which blood clot champ when I make holy people ball about your pussy. Pussy you cannot win. I may say that with my chest. I am in a blood clot business. Me no business. Because whether PMP or labor right in, I'm in work with my have to eat food. My have to blood clot. Tell you why.
So I see this, you know. I see I drive them down. Yet me play.
Go when we box them, people. The man go when we box them. We gone for Woodpark Road. Them gone when we box them. Them gone when we box them. We are running down. We need backup. We need backup. Hello.
That's a call that time.
Come in now, come in.
So you tell me now. With Agintai, I'm sure you who him a pay. Because pay him the pan. I reckon they say yes, so them did they pay money, you know. Yesterday, when him pay money, we get somebody knock a picture with the guy in him in the car, him, I pay them, him this, that. I pay money, I drive on, I pay money. Where can you say that, you know? See? You know, me like I'm prove with things, don't? See?
Yeah.
This is how them run for them thing. Eh? Or if you have a government where so I be a criminalism in them head. It's a criminal government. Them are not even government. Me can't respect them.
No.
So all them do is go around, yeah, spend this bag of money, buy vote, buy this, buy that. It can't work. That's why the country runs so. Yeah. And that's for sure I said them and like nobody else, you know. The whole of them are criminal. They are criminals. Everything what them do, them in a criminal. Even Fly Green no win, you know. A lady call me and a family member, I get 70,000. Remember me carry it, you know. Yeah? The guy from Solid Waste, go down there, a Fly Green, 70,000 each. 70,000. You see, the 1 billion where Andrew just called for this festa. You see, the $1 billion where my tax at 50,000 people, you think of it. 20,000 each. Both them give them the poor and the needy. But if you just call for $1 billion so, and you make them just give them the money they use and pay a bag of people, you know, and it never work out like that. You understand? So this is what them get up and do. Them are criminal. You understand? This is a criminal. See? Piece of shit. Come on for me thing. Come on for me thing. It's a piece of shit. The man them mark box and got change when the ballot box and stuff that and write it back. Now them do it. You fucking idiot, yo. You're a piece of shit. Emily Smith. You're garbage. You're talking to your mother. Don't come back around here, so. The man them, let me tell you, remember them move the box, them in a brother. You have the paper, the man, and you can't trust Gaston, bro. You cannot trust him. It's simple, and them have the seal. That means them have more seal. Okay? So what them are do, them carry the box, them empty that destroy it, and them mark back the box, pay a JLP, them just put the extra ready. Put it back in there and move it. Somebody win. People have explained to you a piece of shit, yo. So you just seal back the same box, them carry it. So them reach late. Simple, not true. Them just empty, put back a seal. Them mark back because them have it, you know. Remember JP, this them a criminal. Them a criminal. Yeah? So you talk about ballot box. So what happened to you? Go away, man. You're a piece of shit. So the box itself, nobody when them carry the box, them are gonna empty that, get rid of it, put in them content, and them have seal from down there. Them seal it back and carry it. Last night, if you listen, them reach late in somewhere in a Trelawney. Them just a pull up. Where them did there? Clover win. Stuff them go throw them out and stuff it. And the same thing with Andrew on this them. The same thing. Yeah? That's the hey, you're whooping 18 bucks and one you get like 89 and Andrew get 2,000 out of 18 bucks. No way. You know, that's why it couldn't move. Let me show you something. When you can't pick about the boy, you know. Got the box them, you know, that's where the box them. You just drive careful where you go and you just pull that and you seal it back. What happened to an idiot? Eh? You can't bring nothing. Hey, let me tell them to go away, man. Because when you count it, don't when you open it and count it, you lock it back for the night and put a seal on it. That means they may have the more seal. Them have more. Them is criminal. Them have it. Them have them with them mark, so they may drive, stop, empty it, fill it back, put back a seal and carry it. You think people are idiot? Eh? Them for go away, man. On a big stinker food, on them count it and then them. All right. In a mobile, you know, 2020, you know. Me not ask Omar Davis, you know. Because Omar Davis can wake up a lot of people and carry them down there. And them stuff that ballot box. After I count, they say them account, them open it early morning and stuff. Because people they talk to me. He promise people enough things and them not get it. Them talk to me, them tell me exact what him do. It is their school and I so them go stuff the ballot box. Them can't come and trick nobody boy. Eh? In That's a Hummer where Nikisha beat in a virtual, you know. 2020 that stuff him go stuff box, you know. And people will go at the school, go stuff it talk to me and tell me what them do. So they can't trick me, I know what I'm doing now. Me look like somebody but them can't trick. Eh? Me know what I'm on the ground. We're not goddamn criminal. And I saw him win. Stuff the ballot box. And he promised people all kind of things and them stuff it, you know. Go wake up and go for other people out of them bed and thing and go stuff it and win. You understand? Change it up and go win. Same thing them do last night. When they move from one spot to the other spot where they account, they move it, then go change it and go stuff it. Get rid of them and destroy them, they put in. Because they are doing, remember, you know, the ballot box, the ballot itself, it not have on your signature, your name, you know. The ballot itself, they just have on the symbol and the X. Because the part that I tell you, so it's simple, them get them, I gas board down there, and then just put it with the X, side of the bell. So you just stuff it with most of that, you seal it back, you go along with it. Then I 1, 2, 3, that one on a big stink and force. Hey, when if you go where you know, Mr. Hey, I never done some details when I drop down.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's yeah, it's not a good look, you know, and this is not the only set of comments about the election that is negative. It does not look good, but we'll see in the coming days what happens. We're gonna close the show. Thanks to everyone who has been here watching throughout the night. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and click that notification bell. And you know, keep this family-friendly show alive. And we say thank you to all our those who commented as well. Big up, Allison. Good night. Yes, keep it. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, just be a part of the show. Keep sharing. We're gonna touch on the topic as we go along with a follow. We say follow the money. We're gonna follow the money and see what happens. But we'll be back on the air in a few hours. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here on Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. Please pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in, and always remember, God is in control. Always remember that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, from Naram. God bless you all, and we're gonna see you at the next show, and we'll be diving deep in what's going on here. It's not easy, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not looking good either. It's not a good look. So we're gonna check it out. Naram Promotions at you. We're gonna touch in some U.S. immigration on our next show. We kind of ran out of time tonight, but there's a lot going on in the U.S. immigration. We're gonna touch on some community news in Jamaica and also in our diaspora. We're here for you, and we're here to stay. We're gonna follow that money. Goodness gracious me. Big up all the crew across the globe and in Jamaica. It's a new day, it's a new dawn. We say, united we stand, divided we fall. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Naram Promotions is that. Have a good night. PR and promotion, this and that.